Andreas Bach, Norwegian comedian. This has been an interview I've been trying to make happen for a while. You guys might know him from his recent KillTony appearances. He has in the several times that I've seen your set, I find that you have such a great. It's so funny because you come up there very nonchalantly, but your jokes are very well thought out and written.
Yeah.
You have the very unique ability to come off as careless. Oh my, you come up there seeming as though you're reckless or you don't really know what you're doing, but the jokes are written so well, and you're just one of those people who first impressions truly surprise you. Because I think the first time I saw you was after you had got done performing at KillTony at a late night mic at Shakespeare's. And
yeah, that's true.
your set was great. There's a few things I wanted to get into with you. First off, how have you enjoyed Austin since you've been here? Do you like our comedy scene?
Yeah, I want to say compared to my expectations, but I didn't have any.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just heard like I had to make choices based on small feelings, like
Mm-hmm.
gut. While listening to podcasts, people were mentioning Austin, and of course Joe Rogan speaks highly of it. Fuck it, I want to go somewhere and do comedy somewhere else. I got into some money.
Mm-hmm.
So fuck it, I'll go to Austin. And I don't watch trailers before movies, and I don't Google pictures of the places I'm traveling to. I just want everything to be a first impression. I don't know. I fucking love Austin. It's a lot of stuff there, here that's cool, and it's a lot of things that's made me appreciate the comedy scene back home more.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you think the grass is greener on the other side, but it's weird coming here. We always, those people you watch and listen to, you imagine they have fucking limousine escort and but then you come here and you fucking meet them, you're just hanging out in a bar with them like regular people, and it's so fucking weird. It's like, so
any thoughts in specific that you can remember having in your first few moments, or I'd say probably a day or so off the plane in Austin? Anything that really pops out thinking, oh, that's crazy or that's weird?
Yeah, when I got out of the airport, first impression was I was looking for a taxi and I didn't find any. And that was weird. And I didn't have Wi-Fi and I couldn't get an Uber. So how the fuck? So I had to stay at the airport until I could get my phone working.
Mm-hmm.
Buy an Uber, but I went straight to 6th Street because the KillTony sign up. I was at the airport and I was running late, so I had to cut the line at the immigration. What is it called? Did you call it immigration? What the fuck do you call it?
That's customs.
Customs, yeah, customs. So I had to cut the line to make.
Oh, you paid the extra to cut the line in customs?
No, I just cut the line. I snuck under and said, "Oh." I pretended that I knew somebody, and I got on an Uber and I went straight to KillTony sign up. My first impression was coming to 6th Street on a Monday when there's KillTony sign up, and it was just comedians everywhere. And
this is not.
Yeah, this is wild.
Yeah, 200 people signing up for 4 or 5 spots. How on earth?
Yeah. I'm such a fucking idiot. I'm not gonna get on.
But it ended up working out for you eventually. You got on and you killed. I hear you killed.
Yeah.
Right? You got the big gel blaster, big book, correct?
Yeah, I got the secret show also.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that part, but I did hear that you had killed at your appearance there. When did the episode drop? Has the episode dropped already?
No, it's coming this Monday.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So I'm looking forward to it because I have forgotten the whole thing. I just know that I was happy when it was done. But I'm really a pessimist, so there are things I remember. Oh, did you say that? Oh, you saw. I imagine it's bad, so I'm looking forward to seeing it, and hopefully it's not like the interview part.
Yeah, I mean, at least from the feedback that I got about it, I heard that it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I heard that.
I think the stand-up, I know that's good because I never questioned my stand-up.
It's
but
the interview part.
Yeah, I suck at interviews.
Yeah, that's what happened to me during my appearance. I completely tanked my interview. I was also drunk. Because I've been signing up for KillTony for over 3 years now. I've been on once, and after so long, you treat it as a hangout day almost.
Yeah.
Mondays, I know all my friends are going to be out today. We're all going to sign up for KillTony. None of us are going to get on. The one day I get drunk on a Monday.
It was that one time?
Yeah, hold on. There's no way. But I had just did a set at the mothership like the day before. I had got on the mothership mic and I did really well on that one. So there's no way. It's not possible that I'm gonna have good enough luck to get on KillTony the next time I sign up after that.
You don't think they saw that you did good and then they were like, okay, let's put him on KillTony?
I don't like to put conspiracies out on the internet. I don't like to put conspiracies out on the internet.
I like to think that they're out there, they're watching everybody, and they got a plan for us all. It's like they know who everybody is.
But I will say this: I truly believe with all my heart, from what I've observed in the scene from the last few months that I've been back moved here and been heavily invested in the scene, I think that they play a super close eye on it. For sure. There's definitely. But we also have a very tight-knit community. You're only knowing one person away from knowing Rogan or Tony or Tom Segura. Comedy is very niche. I mean, we like to hang out with each other. You know, nobody quite gets you like a comedian.
No.
There's no one you could be like that authentic, fuck the world self. Sometimes you feel like that, but other times you can also just goof off and have a great time. Life's about the moment.
Yeah. No, I enjoy that part. That was like when the first 2 weeks here, I slept in a hostel.
Mm-hmm. Firehouse?
Yeah, that's probably that's the only one, right?
I think so. I don't know.
I think that's weird. I thought, knowing Austin, I would imagine it would all be hostels everywhere. But
I know Firehouse very well because they used to host some really good comedy shows because they have a secret.
They had a cool stage in the basement. Yeah, that was a secret.
Bookcase.
Yeah.
It's open, but
you have to open this bookshelf. That's cool. But also staying there. The thing when you're staying in hostels, everybody's traveling alone, and they all would just want to meet in the kitchen and hang out and find friends and find people to go out with. But I didn't talk to anybody because I don't fucking care about those people because I want to go down 6th Street and hang out with the comedians. I'm not looking to hang out with anybody.
Isn't that one of the also lovely things about comedy? As I'm sure you've traveled a lot as a European, right? Have you? You tell me.
Depends on what is a lot. I travel.
How many times have you been outside your country? Norway.
20 times.
Yeah, see, to us that's considered well traveled because most Americans will never.
Yeah, but
most Americans will never leave their state. Most Americans will never leave their state.
Yeah,
like, I've been to one country and I consider that a win.
Which country did you go to?
Mexico. They won't let me in Canada. They're like,
You went on vacation or did you just go too far south?
No, I went on vacation. I used to go on vacation down there all the time. Like, Mexico is great.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Like that, because I know they have these big resorts and stuff.
Yeah, like they have some really nice vacation spots, whether it be Rosarito, Tamaulipas, Cancun, Cabo. They got some pretty great vacation spots. And they also, if you're into history and ancient archaeological sites, they have some pretty ancient archaeological sites. Teotihuacan, I don't know how to fucking say it. Chichen Itza and shit like that. The Aztec and Mayan ruins and shit like that. So yeah, it's also interesting I haven't done that, but
but it's a possibility.
Yeah, I was mostly just fucking whores, but no.
Is that Tijuana you go to?
I've been to Tijuana several times. Yeah.
Is it as wild as they like mention it when they mention it in movies? It sounds like a fucking lawless country.
I do get robbed every time I go to Mexico.
Do?
Yeah. But not by people,
Huh?
by the police.
Oh, you get robbed by the police.
Yeah, they profile. If you're an American and you drive down there, they'll find a reason to pull you, especially if you're black. They love that for sure. Like,
oh, they do?
Yeah, for sure.
Who would have thought the Mexican were the racist?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Nah, but they just profile Americans in general. If
Yeah.
you go down there with American plates or something, you're driving, they'll find a reason to pull you over.
But they see money.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, they'll threaten to take you to jail, and most people don't know what the fuck is going on. They're just like, I don't even want to risk it. It's $50. Let me out. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I would pay the money, of course.
It is what it is, but that's just the price you pay.
Yeah, but I heard about that. They do it in many countries where the police is like taking in the tourists and giving them fake fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, how would you? One of the things that I had lost track of as we were talking, but my point about traveling was the beautiful thing about comedy is that no matter where you go in the world, you can always find a spot to go hang out with some cool comics.
Yeah.
and they'll usually let you hang out with them. We have a very open, artsy community. Is what I say all the time.
It's the same. I always appreciate it. Like when I tell people about skating, I always say the funnest part is how cool the culture is in the environment. Like for skaters, they're like, that you could always do that. Like growing up, when we would travel, I would bring my skateboard, and if I needed someone to hang out with, you just go to the skate park, and you don't have to introduce yourself. You talk to everybody there. You're all friends hanging out. So you would always have like cool people to hang out with. And now I don't skate that much anymore. So now it's also the same thing with comedy. It's pretty cool.
Was skating big out there in Norway?
Yeah, I would say it's big. I think I don't see a lot of people on skateboards here in Austin. So I think it would be bigger in Norway compared to how many people we are. It's a really popular sport.
Because I imagine out there people are a lot more into outdoor activities.
Yeah, probably more than here.
Yeah.
I don't think
It's
you
like,
guys go hiking.
Yeah, it's like I don't think you guys even walk.
Never.
I got off the plane here and oh goddamn, they were not lying.
You can't walk anywhere.
Said I don't know if it's just America or Texas, but for some reason the people here are huge.
But also like today, I moved today to a new to a motel, and it's by this big intersection with a highway. And on the map, it just looks like a big intersection. But coming there is fucking wild. And also, I live like on the corner, like right before, and on the other side, there's the Walmart. And today, I looked at the map. And, I'm just gonna go to Walmart. It's not that far. But across, it was impossible.
Across the highway.
Yeah,
that's how our cities are built.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The only people crossing was me and this drunk homeless guy. So I was all alone in the middle of it, like running over the roads and stuff. Just because I didn't want to pay for an Uber.
Yeah, I want to ask you, how long have you been doing comedy? I don't think I've ever asked you that before.
Yeah, I'm not that sure, but I would say almost 6 years now. I think I started in 2018.
Can I ask you, what led you to want to do comedy?
I've always been a funny guy, and I had my girlfriend. We were together at the time, and we still are. We've been together for 8 years. So she thought of me as the most funny guy in the world, and we used to go to comedy shows together. And those guys, they were like my fucking heroes.
Damn, she was a great girlfriend, because most girlfriends think the opposite.
But and at the show, this guy was talking about this meeting of new people who wanted to try out comedy. You can do this show, and she booked me in. And I was drunk, and I woke up the next morning, and I had to go do a comedy writing class. So I started, and I tried it for the first time, and it was so fucking fun. Like that first time when you fucking...
That's what I was going to ask you next. How was your first time? Tell me the story of your first time.
We were like 10 or 12 new comedians doing stand-up for the first time, and it was a big crowd. Everybody got together, their friends. It was a good scene. Easy to be funny, and I thought I was going to be the worst, because those people have been writing, they have tried to do it. I wanted to get into comedy, and had like old jokes that I wrote it the same day, and I went on and I fucking killed it. I did pretty well, and I got booked like to a paid show.
Were you drunk your first time?
No.
Okay.
I think I had one beer, and I got immediately as I went off stage, the big boss in Norway sent me the grandfather of comedy in my city, like the guy who started it all. He sent me a message, and he said, "Hey, do you want a gig?" And I got a job at a good show.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope. Most people don't have first stories that go as great as that.
No.
In fact, most people were intoxicated their first time. I ask people all the time.
Those nerves are horrible.
Yeah. But that's great. That's excellent that you were able to make that happen. Your first time on stage, the grandfather of comedy in your city,
Yeah, but he also was holding the class. Like he's not like hard to reach.
Okay.
We're like 40 people.
Okay, but he took an interest in you. He took a liking to you. How was your progression of comedy been in that 6 years in Norway? How do you feel like you've evolved as a comedian? Like, tell us some of the lessons you've learned over time.
Yeah. Lessons. Like I remember I got really cocky in the beginning, and I felt like the big champ, and it was like people are telling me, the people, we watch each other regularly, and the comics, we like to give each other tips and help out. So we watch each other and give feedback, and they always say, I get to hear, oh, I see you're constantly getting better, but have never felt me. Actually, I've just been doing it and trying to be more funny, finding more funny stuff, and I haven't evolved. Like I was better at sitting down writing jokes when I first started than I am now. Like the stuff I could do to be even better, I'm getting worse at sitting down and actually working and writing. Now I'm just like, I keep it up here. Yeah.
And that comes with time. A lot of people start off thinking they can immediately do that. When in reality, oftentimes you need to put in that work to train your brain to be able to perform tasks. Like get you in that comic mindset, you know, to be efficient on the fly. You know what I mean? That takes time. That's a skill that takes a lot of time to be able to develop. And some people have a certain aptitude that makes them pick up on it a lot quicker than others. But for everyone, it's their own journey and process. And one specific part of that process I wanted to ask you about is over time, like oftentimes people start off pandering to the crowd. Like they do things that they think the crowd is funny, which is very normal of an amateur comic, like somebody who's starting out. Do you feel like over time you switch the style of, did you start off doing that? First off is what I want to ask. Did you start off trying to make things funny for the crowd, even if necessarily you didn't think they were funny?
Yeah, it's like I think it's funny, and I know I just felt like I think this is funny, and other people will laugh. And I always think my jokes are funny. I wouldn't say something. I never felt I have that thoughts that I would never think that I would say something that I wouldn't think is funny, because a major part of the jokes is like selling it. And then like I like to look at it at 3 stages. Like when I started, and I did what all comics should do when you start to learn comedy. You make fun of yourself, because then it's like you have a lot more to play with. You can, because the audience will already, like, it's easier to like you. They don't know who you are, so make fun of yourself. And that's like easy to, like, that's the easiest form of comedy. And then like
self-deprecating humor.
Yeah, and stage 2 is like when I view comics on stage, I don't think a lot of people think about it, but I will see it, because if you're making fun of yourself, or you're doing like clown shit, like saying, "Oh, this is a new joke," and you cross it out, and you get a free laugh from the audience, I think that's whack. And also like stage 2 is when you can make fun of other people or situations, observe. And like the third stage is like the greatest comedians, where you can just talk about anything. You come on stage and you just start talking about your day. You will just be fucking funny all the way, because it's the way you say it. You can talk about almost anything, and it's just like bosses and strange uses of words, and like the way you describe it, and like you're good at telling or showing people what's in your head. So it would be just like pure. It will be funny without actually, like the best way to say is like you can talk about anything, and it's the way you're talking about it that's funny.
Yeah, and that's ideally the goal. And I tell people that, at least for me, my journey started off with, I do things that I would think are funny, and then the first few times that I ran into issues with that, I started trying to switch, and I would try to pander to things that I thought everybody would find funny, regardless of if I found them funny.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And then after that, I slowly started to realize that comedy was about finding things that you find funny and trying to broaden them for the world to laugh at.
Yeah. I would imagine it would be weird. Like, I can see that, thinking you. But explain, did you like tell jokes that you're like you were putting on an act as a comedian, instead of saying something you thought was funny?
Yeah, I'd say shit that was pretty corny.
Oh yeah, you were just being weird. Like,
no, not I wouldn't do weird comedy, but I'd say shit that I wouldn't find funny if somebody else, because I prefer like more of a raw, dark style of comedy. Like very much so Eddie Murphy or Patrice O'Neal, George Carlin. George Carlin is very big into observation too, and like critical thinking. But those were the things that I really liked. So I I didn't never really gravitated towards Kevin Hart or Jim Gaffigan,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But those, I mean, Kevin Hart is mainstream.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't find that amusing either. It's softened out comedy.
family humor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit that everybody can chuckle at this instead of going for for laughs. Like shit that I won't think is funny, hoping to gravitate people in towards that, because that's what it is now. Like realizing, oh, when I look at great comics, I don't have to have lived their life or know their situation or necessarily even have to relate to the joke. The greatest comics will take almost anything, the most minute thing, and they can make it funny by painting the picture for you to bring you into their world. It's like fishing, drawing people into your world. And I think in my observation of you, the few times that I've seen you do stand-up, I think you're really good at that.
Thanks.
And that's why you're one of the people that I've been really anxious to interview, because it's not just being in Austin, because it's become the comedy town that it is. I see so many talented people come through here, and I wish I had time to talk to them all. But I mean, I definitely appreciate that you came here and sat down with me today.
It's been my pleasure, man.
But let me ask you, so do you feel like in your time in comedy, you start to gravitate towards a niche? Like there's certain aspects of comedy that you're good at, there's certain aspects of comedy that you're bad at. Like for example, for me, I gravitate towards more like a edgy type of humor.
Me too. Also, that's my theme. Like I don't think I get a lot of like corporate gigs in Norway because people think I'm funny, but they don't want to book me to like their Christmas party because they're afraid that I will offend
somebody else. Even if you won't offend them, you might offend
I know I won't. Like I do stand up for old people and whoever. I've been doing it like for the Liberal Party, like the political party in Norway. They had a big party, and I performed for them. And the guy who booked me, he was like really scared. I saw him like clutching his fist, and he was like, "Oh shit!" But everybody there enjoyed it.
So the style that you gravitate towards is edgy and okay, cool. And what is it that you suck at?
What kind of jokes?
Yeah.
I don't write. I think I could if I tried. I imagine if I wanted to fucking write a rap, I could. But also, I could write one-liners. But I would say I suck at it because I just don't do it.
Got you. Me, storytelling is a really hard thing for me. It's hard for me to construct an elaborate, funny story or even a quick one. I'm not good at playing the other characters in it or doing impressions or
me neither.
I can't bring the story to life.
Impressions, was what I suck at. I can make some funny noises with my mouth probably, but I can't impersonate a person. I don't. Probably slightly autistic or something maybe.
One of those special talents, I don't think anybody is really good. I think most people are really good at impersonating people, but every so often you'll catch that person and like, you're fucking really good at doing impersonations of people. Or if you know somebody really well, like over a really long time, sometimes you could get really good at impersonating them, like just them specifically.
Yeah,
like,
through practice.
Yeah.
But I also, like, when I started comedy, I remember telling the teacher in the writing class, a guy named Olisua, but I'm not a storyteller. I thought I would be a ranter. I would be just like take things and I just rant and talk shit about them. But it turns out I'm a storyteller. So I did not plan on it, but it turned out like I was good at it. I always thought I was really bad at it, but it's probably because I tried to shorten everything, especially like when I think about what I'm saying. I think using a lot of words is unnecessary. So I always feel like when I'm talking, like for example now, I have a feeling that I'm saying too many words.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but I would always like to explain things in as short as possible. Okay. And I hate when people tell me stories and they mention one thing that is like not necessary. I want to kill you.
What was it like growing up in Norway? Like, you have any good tales for us about?
Yeah, it's a good. It's a really good country. We're just 5 million people.
There's only 5 million people in Norway?
And we have a lot of money from oil and stuff. So good. But like me growing up, like it's a kind of weird situation because I'm poor and I had a fucked up childhood. And everybody around me had not. I grew up in a place where you had a lot of people like came from like broken homes. And it's not it wouldn't be called poverty here, but it was like not.
It was it's close to poverty there.
Yeah. What?
It was poverty there.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. I imagine somebody had it.
You don't have to live through poverty to experience trauma and have a hard
No.
life.
No.
That's the truth of it.
Yeah.
You can be a millionaire. It doesn't matter if your dad come home and beats you, or
No.
your mom does drugs, or
Yeah.
that you lost half your body as a child. Anybody has the same, and still, like, regardless, the worst people know is the worst they know. For example, something that might be super terrible for me would probably be nothing for the child who lives in Africa or South America, who walks 13 miles and goes to work at 11 years old.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm complaining about not being able to.
Yeah, because we can only experience growth. You don't. It's like speed. Also, you don't never feel speed. You feel acceleration or braking.
Yeah.
And that's like also with your life. Your brain is not
Conditioned to live in other people's shoes.
But you're also not conditioned to stay put. It's like you can't reach some point or situation where you're like, oh, now just contempt.
Yeah, at a point of stasis. Yeah.
You're either growing or you're dying, and that's why like they have. I think it's in America. You have the stat like 85% of all millionaires are first generation millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
Like people who are born into money become like lazy, and that's you start on a high level as your baseline.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to get into.
It's hard to be motivated at that point.
Yeah, because your life you have like very limited possibilities for growth, and you don't have a drive even to create it. So
you have all the things you need. You can get all the things you want.
Yeah, and
very
it's not
easily.
a good situation. You would imagine like when you don't have it, you would be so happy if you had it. So you get annoyed and mad at people for not appreciating it. But it's like it's just being human. That's what you would also do in that situation.
I truly believe that there's no such thing as a life that's better than yours. There's several years there where I had quite a lot of money. I'm 25. I've had about 12 cars in my lifetime. Right now I'm on like my 4th business. But I've done really well, and I've seen the world change before my eyes, and I've been homeless before. I fucking slept on benches in parks and not had anyone call me. Like, not be able to ask anybody for $1 before. Sleeping in my car, I've done that before. And I've also vacationed in Mexico for weeks.
You have the ups and downs.
Yeah, I had some crazy ups and downs, and it taught me a lot about life. And that was just my adult life. As a kid, I moved around a lot. I went to over 27 different schools as a child.
27?
Yeah.
That's 3 times a year.
Yeah. No. Sometimes more than that. So there were some years I went to 6, 7 schools. But there's some years where I spent like almost the whole year at one school.
Wow.
But that was fucking very rare. But
do you find it hard to keep close and long time friendships?
Yeah, I do. But I also find it very easy to make friends because I've lived with been forced to make friends and adapt wherever I went. And I was always a super curious kid. You know, I lived in foster care too for a fairly long time. Yeah. I read a lot of books to occupy my time. Spent time in juvie, mental hospitals, because I didn't understand what was going on. My dad had left when I was 6. My mom was on drugs, a fucked up kid. So like I had to grow up really fast. I was the oldest of 6 boys. Yeah.
So you got a lot of responsibilities quick.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, I had to learn a lot of lessons about life. But one thing that I was shown in my adult years I've always been like a little bit smarter than most people, and I don't mean that in an arrogant way, and like a confident,
no,
like
but
I
you
strive.
should be allowed to say it.
Yeah, I strive for more.
You can acknowledge it, so you
yeah, most people are like content with watching Instagram and TikTok and YouTube all day. Like I like to read, I like to learn, I like to expand my mind, and I've always been like that since a child. I've never been interested in like social conditioning and shit like that. I've always wanted to know, what's going, let me go learn about history. Let me go learn about the Plantagens, or let me go learn about British history, or fucking American history, or about slaves, Egyptians. It doesn't matter. I truly enjoy like learning.
Yeah,
and
I get that.
The art community, the comedy community is one of those unique communities where most people here have a very like unique, open-minded mindset. Even if they're like rebels or social introverts, they're really pretty accepting people because they realize we're all our own individual people doing our own thing. And I respect whatever you got going on, and I still love you for it.
Yeah.
So
That seems like it.
I think I went on a kind of a tangent there. That's the weed does that to me.
Yeah, that's like spending all my brain cells now trying to focus and listen because I don't usually smoke weed, and now and I don't usually.
I don't even know where that man. I was trying to
Yeah.
figure out where I was going with that conversation halfway. Fuck, I don't know where I started,
Yeah.
but I don't want to admit that.
But I struggle to keep focus usually, and I usually also don't smoke weed. And when I get high, it's like I have to. I feel like I'm burning calories right now, using my focus.
But that's what it's about.
And the first thing you do is light up another one. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm over here so high that I'm trying to find something to add to the conversation. I'm just like,
Yeah, there's actually an extra guy here. It's like,
This is our new producer, Patrick. Patrick, say hi to the camera again.
hola.
Yeah, we'll be seeing Patrick around
¿Cómo
a lot more.
estás?
He's going to help produce a lot of our upcoming episodes. And I can't wait to be doing his interview soon and him tell us about his experiences here in Austin.
I'm going to do a shameless Instagram drop, Patrick Carpenter Comedy on Instagram.
oh yeah.
Back to it, Andres. Is there any big distinctions that, okay, did I already get into, okay, I did get into what part of the comedy do you feel like you're not good at?
Yeah.
You said, you said?
I'm not good at one-liners because I don't do them. But then you said something, and then it's like the one thing I'm actually not good at is impressions.
Yeah, then somehow I ended up on a tangent about my childhood. How did I fucking end up there? But anyways, are there any big comparisons that you'd make to the Norway and Austin comedy scene? Pros and cons. Shoot.
Oh, pros and cons is if I was to struggle, if I started comedy, I would never think I think this city I'm from is a better place to start because you can, like, if you go to that first show or you do gigs, almost like half the fucking comedians in the city are watching you, and that's if you're good, people will know it fast. So it's hard to be that guy who is really good and walking around and not getting noticed. And we also have the open mic. Like before traveling here, they have a lot of open mics. You can do 4 open mics a night, 5. Oh fuck yeah, that sounds pretty cool. But the open mic show in my city, we have 70 audiences, and it's a fucking good show. And then I come here, and it's like just comedians I'm performing for, and it's pretty tough.
Stripping for strippers.
Yeah. And
it's
that's
a tough crowd when you got 25 other comics, and then the other thing is half the time this is the 4th time they sing your joke at this point. So
and I have stories. So coming here, I had to write shorter jokes. So I just like the set I do now. If I get on KillTony on Monday, all those jokes would be new jokes I've written here about coming to Austin. So it's because I can't do my stories and not in front of that crowd. But I haven't gotten to do some shows, so I'm glad for that.
Just one bit in particular that I remember. I won't reveal it, of course, but I'm just want to give you the tag so you can know what I'm talking about. But that dog bit that I seen you do on stage is fucking hilarious. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's not even a long, complex joke, but for some reason it just hits home because that's the last thing I expected you to say about the fucking dog.
But I also wrote that here because I need a short joke. It's like, I think I was talking to my friend Chris and Rick about it, and we're like, I just wrote it then and there. It's like, I don't even think actually that joke, it was funny the first time, but I don't enjoy telling it now because I don't think it's so. When I see the structure in my head, it's not the structure of a good joke, but it's still fucking funny.
It's still funny.
Yeah.
Because it's also just
get it out, man. Get a bucket.
It just has such an unexpected twist to it.
Yeah.
And the joke progresses. It gets deeper. Cause
if somebody's listening, I should probably tell the joke.
Nah,
but,
it's up to you.
But I won't say it proudly. Okay, this is an example of a joke. I think I'm stupid. I think it's stupid. I recently had to put my dog down because he was biting too much. And the first time he bit somebody, I had to stick my finger in his ass for him to let go. But it turned out he liked it so much, so he started biting everybody. So we had to put him down. I ain't walking around with a gay dog.
Oh,
You're switching
that camera-
cameras.
did that camera go dead?
Haven't we filmed this?
Stop. Cut.
No,
Cut.
it's good.
Cut. You need that camera. You can just swap the battery. Just cut. Do cut. You can just pause it. It'll only take us 2 minutes, a minute and a half.
The microphone, if you can lower it a little bit.
Lower it like this.
No, I'll show you.
Better?
I'll show you.
Or like this, you mean?
Yes.
Perfect.
Speak up into that. Yeah.
All right, so we're back.
When we tie it up, it has a thing, a butterfly.
Yeah.
Like that.
We're already rolling.
This is your first interview?
What? We're rolling. Anyway, just picking it back up where we left off. Do you mind just going ahead and telling the joke just so everybody knows what you're talking about?
Yeah. I recently had to put my dog down because he was biting too much. And the first time he bit somebody, I actually had to stick my finger in his ass for him to let go. And he liked it so much, so he just started biting everybody. So we had to put him down. I ain't walking around with a gay dog.
I just thought that bit ended in the most unexpected, silly way. But
Yeah.
yeah, you said you don't even really like that joke, really. That
I don't know,
much.
but I can't see myself as an audience listening to it anymore. Like when I say, this is where I would actually do work, where I would say it to somebody, and I would stop before the punchline. I would say, "What do you think now?"
Mhm.
And they would say, "Oh, you put him down because he was biting too much."
Mhm.
Everybody, and I would, okay, yeah. And I would ask if you were surprised if I said it, and I would have to analyze it.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's funny, but it hasn't gotten like strong laughs, the laughs you want. It's like a funny joke.
Yeah, also probably because there's a lot of comics who have heard it several times
Yeah.
at this point.
But I did it
It's
at the
always
Vulcan also.
Oh, did it
Yeah.
do well at Vulcan? It
Yeah,
popped?
I did a good set there. Probably one of the funnest I've had,
Mhm.
except from KillTony
Uh-huh.
since I got here.
That's cool.
What the fuck was I saying? I'm not gonna do more weed.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Oh, you gotta smoke that yourself. Yeah. Oh.
But have you enjoyed the Austin comedy scene since you've been?
Yeah. We were talking about the shows. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was the most fun, and it did really well. But the fun part at the Vulcan was like Hans Kim filmed it, and I'm gonna get the film. So one bit I'm gonna cut out is when a guy just asked me. That was like the most laughs I got was just a guy asked me. Now it sounds like I did bad, but I did good. But a guy, he was like, "Oh, I'm from Ohio," and I just looked at him, yeah, that's probably a place. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, and
That's what most of us would
yeah,
think. Probably.
and everybody came up to me. You know, everybody knows where that is, right? I was like, okay.
Like, I'm from
Thank you.
Norway.
Yeah, we don't care.
But how would you? One of the questions I was asking you before that we lost track because it's been high. But
Yeah, this is a weird podcast strategy.
What are some of the pros and cons between Norway and
Yeah,
the Norway
we
comedy scene and Austin comedy scene?
we had the better shows. Like you will have more fun the first year doing comedy there, but also I don't know, the hang here is better. You can just every night you can go out and hang with comics. You can't do that in Norway, but it's like you can do. You will end up doing decent shows, and you will get into like the whole gang straight away. Everybody knows everybody's like that. It's quick. And here it's one of the good parts here also is like you do some mics and you go to Creek and a Cake to hang out, and you come in, and then Ari Shaffir is there doing his set. It's like almost every night I end up watching a really good comic on stage. And if you want to be good, you should of course learn from the best. It's like your school, your college here has better professors, I would say.
Okay.
And you have more big opportunities.
Yeah, that is one thing that I guess this country is very good at is entertaining. It's one of the places you want to be in the world if you want to make a lot of money entertaining.
Yeah.
Whether
Or
it be
war. Like you have that's the things.
Did you say or war?
War. Yeah. That's your thing.
This is also true. This is also. But most of us are proud of it.
Yeah.
It's like, it was a weird
But
thing.
you should be like, it's not just you going. You're like the head of an alliance, so you do
Yeah.
what is for us. That's like when I met the guy, my Uber driver the other day. He was like, he was a veteran. And thank you for your service. It's the right thing for me also, because he's also serving my country in a way.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it is, like, bringing that up, like, the other day I was talking about, like, I had this bit I was trying to work out, where it's, do you ever have the feeling that you're the bad guy in the story?
Yeah.
Germany was like, they people still hate them, and they only tried to, like, fuck up several countries. Like, just imagine if you happen to own half the world. Like, just imagine if you happen to maybe have destroyed 40 of them, maybe 40 countries.
Yeah.
It's weird that there's nowhere, like, America is the most prosperous country on this side, on the western side of the globe, but it's just, it's weird that there's, like, no other developed countries like south of America. Like, Canada, the only reason why they're developed is because they got their, when the British let them go free.
Wait, what
For some
about New
reason.
Zealand?
No, but I'm talking about
It's the climate. It seems to be.
But that's south of
No,
America, though.
no, but I'm talking about on this side of the world. I'm talking about in the Americas.
Yeah, but I think it's the climate that makes them productive. Canada, New Zealand, Norway, all it's like that. When you have that cold
when you're
climate,
cold,
yeah. When you're
explain
cold,
the Russians then.
when you're cold, you work harder. You know?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I imagine the same thing happens
Yeah.
when you're hot, though.
yeah.
Oh, fuck no.
I've never been so lazy in my whole life as I have been these 2 weeks walking around in this heat.
Yeah, no,
It's-
you just want to cool
It's
off.
horrible. I just like I'm gonna go to bed. There's nothing to do. You can't play football. You can't.
But the thing is, when you're really in the heat, you can't even go to bed. God damn, it's so hot out there.
You have to have an AC.
But I think we're kind of getting to the close of this.
Sit on 1% now.
Yeah, getting there. But I want to thank you for coming down and sitting down and talking with us, having this cool little chill conversation.
It's been my pleasure,
Getting
man.
high with us, man.
It was fun.
Yeah, it's been a good little 40, 50 minutes. We went off quite a bit, but I think we had a real productive conversation throughout most of it, and I think there's quite a lot of good moments in there. Thank you for sitting down with us, and I hope that maybe we even do this again before you leave, without being high.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, probably.
But I do always enjoy just like a cool little high conversation and chilling with the guys and just talking about comedy.
But it's weird when the guy never
Especially
smokes
with the guy
weed.
from across. Yeah, that's the beauty of it, though. I like to with another guy from across the pond and hearing what you have to say about comedy and your perspective as a veteran. Because to me, you're a veteran. I've been doing comedy 2 years, and I've seen your set. I've seen you come out here and go and do shows. Like, you're one of the guys that I see and I look at, and that's where I want to get to.
Oh, thank you. That's a pretty nice compliment, man. Thank you.
No, for real. It's great. That's, like I said, that's a real reason why I wanted to get you over here. You're a funny guy. Even in this conversation, like, I learned so much about you and about your perspective on comedy, and it's a beautiful thing, and that's what this is all about. We're only on episode 4 or 5. We're going to make mistakes.
Yeah, this looks good already, man. You really want this, and you're going to go for it. I think this podcast is going to do great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got a good thing going there. And I wish you the best of luck, man.
Thank you. And I hope we haven't ruined you too much. I hope you haven't gained too much weight since you've been down here in America.
No, I actually think I lost weight.
We haven't dumbed you down a little bit.
No.
Hope you didn't drink none of the tap water.
No, I try not to. But
I hope you didn't drink none of the bottled water.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck should you drink?
I hope you honestly didn't eat anything while you were out here. But yeah, man, it's been a great time.
I haven't gotten sick yet. I think I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just wait. Our shit takes about 7 years to work. No.
That's when you get retarded and start driving crazy.
Yeah, God damn. In 5 years, they're like, where did all my sperm go? No. I feel like a woman now.
That's why there's so many gays. It's tap water. Do you say
Turning the frogs gay.
That's Alex Jones, right?
Yeah. Very popular meme. But
Didn't it turn out to be true, though?
Yeah, it's actually true.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently you can't filter out birth control. And 80% of it or so gets excreted in, like, women's urine. Yeah. There's a... But everything's poison out here. That's not the beginning of it. That's just the beginning. Stainless steel pods, soda, burger and meat, everything vegan food. Nothing out here is necessarily great for you. We just have a lot of stuff. We don't have great stuff, just a lot of it.
Yeah, that's what.
It tastes good though. We make some shit taste good.
Yeah, I went to the Terry's Black Barbecue. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty good food though.
Yeah.
We'll call it there.
Yeah.
All right then, guys. Bye.
Yeah. See you, man. Goodbye.